Intuitive viewers. I got a couple of minutes into my recording and Lucy started barking. She wanted to come and say hello, so here she is. She's doing really good, you guys, so I just wanted to let her show herself to you. I think she just wanted to be up here, so she's back to her old self, um, wanting to be the diva again. So, but anyway, I just wanted to, I thought, well, I better just put her on my lap for a little while because she's going to sit there and bark if I don't. So, anyway, I wanted to give you a couple of just announcements, and then I wanted to give you a few channels to check out. Um, so, sadly, our friend Iris, we were really praying for her mom that she would not get COVID. She was in a nursing home that was just being overrun with COVID, and she did end up getting it, and she ended up passing away. She was 95 years old, so she had quite a life. 95, that's a long time, and I'm sure she. I mean, you think of all the history you would have seen in that time. So, but I think that it was quite fast because I got an email that she was ill and then an email that she had passed away, and like right within a day of each other. So please, anything you'd like to write in the comments to her to just give her love and know we're thinking of her, and any prayers, love and prayers to her, love and light to her during this difficult time. I did share with her that whenever I've done readings for people, especially when they're very elderly, when they have been sick, there's such relief for them to be out of that body because it does become such a burden, and the freedom and the joy that they feel when they're out of that body, because it doesn't really, it becomes almost the improper casing for their spirit, because their spirit is so lively and so so energetic, and when it's in a body that doesn't match that, it can become such a burden. And so I did share that with her. I didn't connect with her mom, but I hope to in the future for her. But I wanted to let her know that time and time again, I've had that experience with spirits on the other side, especially those that are quite elderly or have been ill. And it is such a joyous time for them to reunite with family and friends, and all of the people waiting for them. And it's such a difficult time for us here. The contrast is so strange to experience when you do readings like that, but they have so much joy, and she'll I'm sure that her mom will be with her through this difficult time. I think it was, although there was a possibility, I do think it was quite surprising and unexpected. So just love and light to her and her family at this difficult time. And yeah, I hope to speak with her in the future and connect her with her dear mom. Okay. So I did also want to give you a couple of people to check out if you'd like to. And they're kind of different, but I just thought you might enjoy them. One is a subscriber who told me about a YouTube channel called The Celestial Harpist. It's all harp music, and it's beautiful, and there is something about harp music that does feel otherworldly, So I encourage you to go there and just give them, tell them good job and keep going, and congratulations on your channel, and etc. So I know you guys will, and I it's always so wonderful because people just need encouragement. The next one is called Inner Support Tarot, and it's a subscriber, Joe, who said that my talks about like telling you guys what are you going, what is your part going to be, as we move forward, because there is going to be this time that we need for healing. And he was inspired by some of the things we've said on the channel about that kind of thing, and he really got him to thinking about what his part would be. So he has a new channel. It's not political, but it's called Inner Support Tarot. And that is exactly what it's for. It's for inner support during this time and after this time. And I mean, oh my gosh, we're going to need things like this so much. So, you know, congratulations to him for doing this. And like I said, it's a scary thing to put yourself out there, but I'm so glad that he did this. I think it's going to be wonderful. So please, you know, give him support and high fives and, you know, just a pat on the back for doing this, and subscribe so he can get some subscribers. And it just means so much to people. So, and then the last thing I just want to tell you about is JEANNE Chabot. She is an artist, and she does the most amazing pictures of animals, and she really she does them in very intuitively, and she really does capture their spirit. There's something unique about them. So I wanted you to check her out. And she said if you send her an email, Jrosechabot, it's JROSECHABOT @gmail.com. If you can send her an email, she will send you pictures, and she will kind of chat with you if you want to ask her about her paintings, and she can send you some and talk about, you know, anything about that if you wanted to get your pet done or whatever. But they're beautiful. And when Lucy was sick, she sent me a little drawing that she did of Lucy being comforted by a little horse. And it was the cutest picture. And it was so comforting in such a weird way. I didn't expect it, and I kept it. And as Lucy was kind of, when Lucy went to the hospital and she'd have to stay there overnight, she did it, you know, she had to go there 3 times and stay overnight. I would look at it often because it just gave me this feeling that this spirit of this horse was with her. And I know it sounds like that's weird, but it really was so comforting. So I just think she just knows kind of what, how to kind of paint intuitively. So it's very interesting, and I really encourage you to look at her work. So, and all of this information will be below, so you can just go down and look for it. Okay, I wanted to answer a few viewer questions because I was just asked, and one was about Michigan, a race between Peters and James. The Peters is the Democrat, James is the Republican. And I have Michigan actually going to Biden and Peters winning. So that's was my when I looked into that, that's what I got. So I just wanted to let that person know that. And then Pepe wanted to know about, would there be any you know, like gerrymandering reform and that kind of thing, voting reform coming out of the House and Senate after the election. And what I saw was actually it felt like historical in its like breadth. Because I feel like it covers a lot of things, and it's kind of like a voting rights act, but it's got a lot of things in it. And I even feel like they may make voting a national holiday and attach someone's name to it. So that's what I got. And I feel like gerrymandering and things are going there. It will be there will be things that kind of inhibit that and put restrictions on it. And I do feel like states will have to, they'll make some things that are national, so states can't say, well, we're not doing that. It's like national law. So that's what I got when I looked into that. And that was a great question, because that's, you know, campaign finance reform and voting. So we got to fix that stuff for next time. And then Vern asked me about Trump and pardons and what was going to happen there. And this kind of leads into my own reading, which is that between November and January, I just feel like something happens where Trump is not really in charge anymore. And so I don't know if they remove him, like actually like 25th Amendment him, and that's why they're doing this whole 25th Amendment thing, because if he loses in a landslide, I can't imagine they would just leave him in there until January, while people are just dying and getting sick the way that they are. And it will be even worse after his super spreader events. So I feel like there's something about that where he steps away or steps down. I feel like there may even be something, some kind of deal or something, but I feel like there's something. It's strange to me, but I just feel like there's something that goes on in that period of time that he kind of steps away from the helm. And then I think there will be some pardons. But it's interesting because I feel like Trump is going to be very angry with the people around him. I feel like he's going to be angry with people who didn't protect him. He's going to be angry at his supporters. And it's almost like, we as Democrats, we did what we were supposed to do. We won. That's what he expected us to want to do. But his supporters should have done more. His people should have done more. And I almost feel like he's vengeful about it and doesn't really pardon that many people, as many as we'd think. He may pardon his own family or something, but I do feel like it's not going to be overwhelming the way that we think it is, only because he's going to go down for a lot of things, and he knows that there's going to be court cases coming, and he'll be indicted on something. And I feel like he thinks, if I'm going down, we're all going down. You're not going to get out of this if I'm not getting out of it. It's that kind of attitude. And so that's what I feel like he'll be kind of making his decisions. That's the place he's going to be making his decisions from. So that's kind of the answer to that. So I do think there will be pardons, but not quite the way we think. I feel like if he feels like he's going to go down for something, unless Pence gets in there and just pardons everybody and pardons Trump and everything, but they can't pardon him for straight crimes. So like I said, I feel like he's going to leave very angry. And we already know that the King Kong thing that I've seen from the beginning, he's going to go down angry and fighting and mad. So it's just his way. Okay, so I wanted to look into Mitch MCConnell and his weird health stuff. So I kind of already looked at it, and I just want to see if I get anything else while I'm sitting here. So let me look at Mitch MCConnell. Every time I look at him, I see him and his wife in that old jalopy I talked about before, like the Beverly Hillbillies, all of their suitcases and stuff piled up, and they're leaving Kentucky. So something's going to go down with that couple. I know she's in trouble now. She's been looked at for a while. So I think there may be something coming for her, but also for him. It just doesn't look good. I just feel like it's almost like karma is beginning. It does feel like that. It really does. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second because I have something to say about that. But with Mitch MCConnell, I just heard a woman say he keeps falling. He keeps falling. So he's fallen more than we know about. He's weak. There's something circulatory, something with a major organ. Failure, something about failure. I don't know if it's like heart failure, kidney failure, something is wrong. I feel like there's medications. I'm seeing medication bottles and trips to the ER. Some kind of emergency. I don't know if they actually, like, it's trips to the ER or like some kind of emergency, like medical situations that he's had. I don't know how they work that for senators, but I feel like there's been like a couple of emergencies. He's not well. So that I'm going to leave that there. I don't have a good feeling about this, you guys. So I'm going to leave that there. But that's what I'm feeling. I feel like something's. There's a major organ involved, and he's falling a lot. He's very weak. There's medications involved in some emergency things happening, emergency visits of some kind. So I'm going to leave that there. But he's not well. So, okay, so I'm going to move to, do you remember when I saw, I'm going to put Lucy down. I feel like she wants to get down now. She's made her appearance. So, do you remember I kept hearing, when all the COVID happened at the White House, I kept hearing that somebody saying, he's going downhill. Someone's going downhill. And I kept hearing that. So a couple of days ago, I was in my kitchen and I was just like cleaning the counters. And I do get messages when I'm just like doing kind of mundane things. It's a type of kind of concentration you get into where you're kind of not really thinking and your mind just kind of is open, and that's usually what I do when I'm meditating or praying, but it does happen sometimes. I know like Linda gets things when she drives, and a lot of psychics do. And it's during those mundane activities, sometimes I'll get it's like somebody's talking, or I'll get a flash of something. And a couple of days ago, I was just cleaning and I heard it again. He's going downhill. And I heard someone else say, it's happening so fast. And I talked to my sister that day and I said, I think I know who this is. I think it's Rush Limbaugh. And she said, well, he came out recently and said he was terminal. I guess that the treatments weren't working. And I didn't know that. And but I felt like that was who we were talking about. That's who they were talking about. And I got this feeling of kind of dread, kind of, and doom, and I also, when I did my meditation, when I was checking in with my guides later, they were reminding me about the fact that all of this is not just about Donald Trump. This is the end of an era. This is the end of an era of this type of Republican. And so, it just kind of dawned on me that there isn't really a person more associated with that type of Republican than Rush Limbaugh. He was there at the beginning, and he really did kind of help to manufacture this type of Republican who is kind of the angry white guy and who is kind of a little paranoid and kind of not only is it everything's the liberals' fault, but they're our enemy. They're our enemy. And they made this kind of like so that people in the Congress don't even have lunch together anymore. They all just can't stand one another. And I feel like that era is coming to an end. And my guides have always made me feel like that it has to happen for the world to survive, for us to survive, for the world to survive. And that COVID was, the lesson from it is that we are all connected, and we're very closely connected in the world. Even though it's a big wide world, we are all so connected to one another. We're connected to the earth. We're connected to animals. It's all one thing. And if one thing is suffering and hurting and dying, we all are in some form or fashion, or eventually will in some form or fashion. So it really isn't, Trump is kind of a symptom of all of this stuff. And he's kind of a symbol of the worst of us, the worst parts of our government and the worst parts of our society, but he isn't the it. He's a symptom of it. And so the disease is still going to be there. And so a lot of this is about crushing that disease. And, uh, and we're going to just see kind of the end of an era of that kind of politics and that kind of government that really was just working for special interest and nothing else. This pandemic and the place where we're going to land, where we're landing now, where we're in such dire straits on so many levels, is going to wake up a lot of people, and we're going to see it when we have this blue wave come in. I said from the beginning, House, the Senate, the presidency, it's all ours, and I'm just seeing all of these changes taking place, and I feel like it also reminded me of a vision I got very early on, and I don't, if you've been following the channel for a long time, you remember this, but if you haven't, you'll hear it for the first time. It'll be exciting. No, it's the vision of a slingshot being pulled back, and it was explained to me that we're going to be pulled back, but pulled back in a way where there's going to be there is real power kind of being drawn in because of how we are pulled back. It's going to make people angry, make people active, make people get involved, and it's going to be like a slingshot, because as soon as we release it and this is over, it's going to be like a flying forward, and we're going to have all of these changes happen rather quickly. A lot of this stuff is going to turn, you'll see, it's going to turn, it will be a process, but it's going to turn around rather quickly. I told Cassie, because she was asking me, when do you think this is going to end? And when do you think COVID's going to end? And, asked me about a vaccine and and I said I felt like the treatments would get better and better and better. And I felt like by the end of winter, we might see like in February, around the end of February, we might see an actual vaccine being announced. And then I felt like by the end of summer, it would kind of be like we were having normal lives. We were kind of like, the testing was so great, and we had kind of a vaccine. And it's weird because I hesitate to say vaccine. It's almost like it doesn't make it obsolete, but it makes it so much less powerful. So if you get it, it's kind of like getting a cold. So that's why I hesitate to say vaccine. And so I don't know what you call that, but it's like some kind of antibody treatment or something. And like I said, it's gonna also make other breakthroughs happen because of the way that they figure this out. I saw stuff for like lupus and Lyme disease and muscular dystrophy, just weird things that it's like a lot of like autoimmune stuff and that kind of thing. But it just felt like we were just going to go forward in so many ways, and very rather quickly. And a lot of things passed very quickly about energy and how we're going to go forward. A plan, I feel like, is going to roll out pretty quickly about how we're going to get off of oil. And it's interesting because I actually feel like there are companies that are incentivized to come on board. So I don't feel like it's going to be this like, oil industry, blah, blah, blah. Like the oil industry is going crazy and people are going crazy about it. I feel like there's some kind of like incentive to kind of come along for the ride and be part of this so that you don't suffer economically. We don't have to suffer tremendously in some areas, that if they get on for the ride and start to help us with wind power, natural gas, and things like that, that they can be part of it, part of the solution, rather than pulling back and trying to get us to go backwards. And I am sorry for, oil and coal, but it is like the time is, it really is time to move past it and to move on to other types of energy, and it will be great. It really will be great. The earth will be so different. It will look so different, and the cooperation level with countries will be so different. I did a 10 years out reading a couple of years ago, and it was astounding to me that the amount of like cooperation and innovation, and it did look like a different world. And so we talk about this new earth, and that is what it looked like. And I do feel like the Trump people will come along eventually. It may take a little while because, you know, a lot of these people felt disenfranchised. And what I kept getting whenever I look at this group of people was that they finally kind of found a place they felt like they fit with each other, and being angry and aggrieved and placing blame somewhere. And it was not a healthy by any means, and it was rather, it was kind of mean and cruel, but that's kind of what made them, made it attractive to them. It wasn't necessarily the policies or the things themselves. It was this feeling of finally feeling like they fit somewhere. And as they're able to fit other places, to get a really good paying job, and to have, industry come back to some of these really depressed places, it's going to change. It's going to lighten their spirit in every way, because their lives will have a different kind of meaning. And so, and I remember, Bill Clinton, I think I said this on my other video. If I did, I'm sorry, but that when you have something to lose, that's usually when there aren't the extremist groups and things like that. Extremist groups come out of hopelessness and not feeling like you don't have anything to live for. And that's where extremism comes from. And so when you take that away and you give people a job and a family and a home and things that they can actually lose, then you find that people are more willing to they're just happier, and they're able to follow the laws, follow the rules, because they're happier. They have things to protect, and things that they could lose. So they want the system to work. And so that is something that I see happening because of this just money poured into all of these things that have been needed for so long, all of these industries. I also saw with healthcare, I know healthcare is a big thing because of this Comey Barrett woman, this nomination. And what I saw was that there would be a pretty quick roll into Medicare for all. I felt like it was almost like it was necessary because of the hole we find ourselves in with COVID, and with people having such debt and wanting the economy to move again. It's almost like it goes hand in glove with that. So I don't exactly know the steps it will take, but it does feel like it rolls into that. So I know they're planning to add a public option, and so maybe that will just become so popular that it just rolls into Medicare for all. But it does feel like a pretty quick roll into Medicare for all, and then we're there. And it's actually fantastic. It's almost like people are like, why were we so resistant? Why didn't we do this sooner? Because people love it. People love it, and people love the freedom too. And I think that's what offers people a lot of job freedom and freedom to do what they really want to do, because they don't have to take a job just for the benefits anymore. They don't need that. They can take it because they want to do it and they love it, or they want to start their own business. It's going to be an incredible, incredible time. And I just feel like it's gonna be an incredible, incredible time. And I wish I could just pull you guys into seeing what I'm seeing, but uh, it's going to be amazing. It really is going to be amazing. I just want to say that it just is. And we have to get through the next week or so. And I don't feel like I see it not being close. We're gonna do a really fun reading on the second, the day before the election, on Celestial Kris Tarot, that channel, and it's going to be a few psychics are going to be kind of on the channel and giving predictions about all 50 states. So that'll be fun to watch. So you might want to check that out. Celestial Kris, that's it. And you might want to check that out on the second. And then oh my gosh, I did a reading with Laura at the Tarot Genie, and we did a whole reading. It was really great, and I didn't record it. I'm new at it, doing it by myself, and I felt so embarrassed and so upset. But we're going to meet again on Friday, and so that will be up over the weekend. And also another one that will be up over the weekend is we're going to meet with Lori from, oh my gosh, I can't remember her channel right now. With Lori from The Way of Positive Change. The Way of Positive Change. We're gonna meet with her. I think it's gonna be Kris and I together, so you'll see that as well around that time. So from like Saturday to Tuesday, you'll have a lot of things to watch and look at. And I'm sure all the other channels are doing stuff as well, because we've been in this together from the beginning. We're gonna get through this, you guys. So anyway, okay. So last thing is, thank you so much for the positive feedback for my classes. It's continuing to roll in. I'm just so happy and so pleased and so relieved that you guys like the classes, that they've been working for you. I've had some really amazing readings with people that have done them, and they've been doing the mentoring sessions, and they're just so excited. Like they're like, this is like, they get it. It's working. They understand it. And it's like, I finally am getting some messages. I understand how this works. I get it. And so I just want to thank everybody for trusting me to kind of lead you into doing this. And it is exciting when you finally get like, I get it. Okay, I got it. It really is exciting. It's an exciting process, and it really is. It feels like an awakening. It really, really does. So if you are still interested in classes, they're there. They'll be there. I mean, they're there. You just go to intuitiview.com, hit pricing, scroll down. You'll see what the classes are, how to get a class, or how to get the classes, and they'll be sent to you in an email, and you just start the classes, and there's 3 of them. And I'm already working on the next class, which I'm hoping to work on more over December. I'll have some time then when we go to England, and I'll be able to kind of do a little bit of work there. So I'm just going to do kind of an add-on another class, and then add on another class. I feel like there's 2 more there for some reason, and I'm kind of gathering the information, questions people have had that have been the same in the mentoring sessions, and I'm going to put something together so you can take the next class and go to the next level. So hopefully that will be this course that you're doing. It's very much for beginners. So it starts right at the beginning. So don't be intimidated to take it in any way. And if you're already doing stuff, it may give you some more insight. So anyway, I'm just really happy about it. So yeah, so that's great. All right, everybody. Last thing, check out Clairvoyant Kris. That's my sister's channel. Psychic Sisters will be doing that soon. I had to take a day yesterday, so if I haven't answered you in my emails yet, just know I will in the next day or so. I had to kind of take a day just to decompress, because I was the energy has been very exhausting. I have to say, as an empath, the energy in the country right now has been a lot. So you might be feeling it too. I felt like I just had to take a day to just kind of decompress and step away from stuff for a little bit. But I feel better. So I'm glad I did it. And take care, everybody. Take care of yourselves. We're almost to the finish line here. Let's just get there, you guys. Let's just get there. All right. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye.